Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This morning's video is just going to be a little rabbit chore, feeding, and just touch up, check in with the bunnies. It's been a while since I've had y'all over here for a full video. I'm just doing my feedings, let you know how everybody's doing, and let you know about a couple changes with our bucks. But first, little Chippy Dippy here, little Miss Chip. Now that we found out she's a girl, I went ahead and moved her over into her own personal cage. This will not be her permanent cage. I've mentioned before, we're in the process of getting rid of this bunny barn. Hi, Chip. Hi, baby. And I'd say that as soon as Papa Bear gets done with his corn picker and getting the corn picked this year, he'll probably go ahead and bang me out another rabbit hutch or two. And that's where Chip will go, and that's where my spotted friend on the end here will go. Hi, baby. And now Chip, she's a little feisty. I realize she doesn't like the sound. Would you stop eating that? She doesn't like the sound of me pulling the hay away. She's got some auditory issues, I guess. But I was scooping up some of the old hay, the soiled hay, yesterday. And when I say she went after me, she didn't, she scratched me a little bit on the hand, but she wasn't, if she wanted to get me good, she could have got me good, because I wouldn't have been expecting it. But I have to do it, unfortunately, especially when it comes to getting this poop out of here. Sometimes I have to scrape it up, because these cages are just hard to clean. But I know she was just hearing something she wasn't liking, and you know, I'm one of those that if I hear somebody chewing, it sends me into a blind rage. I mean, it's bad. So I understand. I can't be too mad at her. But get her a little extra hay in there. She doesn't really eat much of her hay. She's been using it just to sleep on. And she doesn't go to the bathroom on it because she has her own little bathroom corner. So all in all, she's a very, very neat rabbit. With the last video, we were still kind of hands up in the air as to whether Tanner was gonna give birth or not, and she never did. So unfortunately, that means that Buddy the Buck is infertile, and we won't be keeping him. I'm gonna try to find a good home for him. He really needs somebody patient, because at his age, he's so skittish and he doesn't like to be held. Just needs somebody to be patient with him. But we've got this little guy here, and he doesn't have a name yet. But originally, he was the one I was going to be finding a new home for. And then we realized that with Buddy. So we're going to be keeping this little fella. If you can think of any good names for him, shout them out. I need a name for him and his sister over here, because we're keeping her as well to breed. Not together. That's one thing with bunnies. You can do some crazy breeding combinations, but you don't want to breed siblings together. Here you go. I'll get you some more hay. There you go. And I'll fill their water up here at the end. They like to jump around before breakfast. They get excited. And then I also need a name for this little sweetheart. And this one is a little doe. And her brother, they're super friendly. Pretty well since birth. They don't mind me petting them, handling them. Now, don't chew on my GoPro like Thumper does. But, yep, both of these two little rascals need names. So shout them out if you can think of a good one for either of them. You'll have to pardon my sniffles. I'm not sick, but this weather, this Indiana weather, and I'm sure everybody's having weather like this, but yesterday and the day before, well, yesterday it rained, but it was still a beautiful, I want to say it was 75. I was doing work down in the store, and I was sweating, y'all. All right. Let me just get this area closed up, and then I'll have y'all over there, and we'll take a look at Thumper and her babies. Vanna, what if I told you about hiding out underneath hutches? You're gonna get peed on. Silly rabbit, you have an entire hay barn of fresh, good hay that's not been peed on and doesn't smell like other bunnies. You're silly, but you're cute, so we'll allow it. Hi, Thumper. I know you're out of food, I'm sure. All right, Thumper's a nibbler. She tends to nibble on the GoPro, so we're gonna, hey, stop it, sweetie. Her babies are taken over. Realistically, I could pull them out of her cage now. Watch out, Mama. Mama! You gotta let me put the food in the dish. There you go. I could, sorry, Mama. I told you, you gotta let me get it in there. I can't open the back because of how I have it fastened. Yeah, I could pull them out now. They're eating pellets and drinking plenty of water on their own, but they're still doing okay in there. I'd say probably within a week, maybe about a week, I'll go ahead and take them out and get them moved into one of the grow out pens, but they're not hurting anything in here right now. And as of right now, they're not driving her too crazy. She's got her own little bathroom corner over here, and it's pretty wild because the babies have followed suit and have also started going to the bathroom. I see their little tiny pellets. It's pretty cool how even animals, you know, that don't have complete verbal word communication like we do. I mean, they have their own language. It's their language, their way of communicating and teaching their young. It's pretty wild. God knew what he was doing, didn't he? All right, I'm gonna get them some more hay for their little bathroom corner. Yeah, what are you doing back in the hay barn, Missy? Now, and get you some extra hay just to nibble on, Mama. And now I'll show you what I typically deal with every day with Thumper. Or not Thumper, Vanna. Get her a little scoop here. She's usually anymore waiting for me right there. And she's a smart one. She's got me trained, y'all. I bring her pellets in and she stays nice and dry. Safe from other critters. What are you doing, Peppy? I need to scrub your water dish later. I'm in the process of going through winterizing the rabbit cages. I don't use the plastic watering, the drip waterers. Can't stand them. If you have found a brand that you like and that's consistent about not leaking, shout it out for me, because I have not found one like that yet. And just the struggle of trying to replace them, and of course I can't use those in the winter anytime because they'll freeze. But I'm making this more difficult. I should have brought the tripod out with me, but I figured that since I'm doing rabbits, I can stick y'all in the cages. And here's Sassy. Sassy boy. He's my shy boy. He's good though. He's a good rabbit. He is, if you couldn't tell, the two bunnies in the bunny barn that need names, the little spotted ones, the broken colored. He's their dad. He's very timid, and him and Mouse, his next door neighbor, no, not Mouse, him and Levi were our first two bucks that we ever got, actually. One of our neighbors weren't able to show them, so so she was kind enough to give them to us. And that's how we got into the breeding game, so to speak. Mouse, want to say hi? Mouse is messy. He likes to get his hay out and then not eat it. But ultimately, these little hay holders that I installed, they really have helped cut back on hay waste. Typically when they get them out, they do tend to eat the hay now, but Mouse is just a little messy. Ciao, buddy. Ciao. Top his water off. I know, I'm coming, y'all. I go through phases where I'll kind of change my process. I'll water everyone, and then I'll hit everyone with the pellets, and then I'll hit everyone for the hay, and then I switch it up again. So now I'm back to just doing each cage individually, which I do think takes longer. But... What are you doing, Levi? Hey, buddy. All right. Let's get you some food. There you go. There you go. Go ahead and hit up Buddies from this side. Oh, Mouse. The only thing with Mouse, though, or goodness gracious, gray rabbit, gray rabbit. The only thing with Levi and his hay is that when he gets it out, he does tend to pee on it if it's on the cage floor. Mouse doesn't, so I can just put his back in the hay holder. But it's just one of those things where each rabbit has their own personality and own preferences on how to do things. And this is little Buddy. Anyone in the area, if you're local, he's very sweet. He's just skittish. He needs patience. Well, hi, little birdie. What are you doing up there? You got a nest in here? The birds love to make nests in the top of the hutches. But yeah, if you're local and want a rabbit to give attention to and patience, let us know. And I'm glad I got y'all out here when I did. I'm glad I let myself sleep in just a little bit by maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes. But we're supposed to get some rain most of the day today, and there's been a nice little break in it. All right. What are you doing, monster? You have another mat that I need to cut off. Now, a little bit here is, I want to say she is full breed Angora. There you go. So she's got the longer hair, and she does tend to mat up around her butt area. And it also happens that she's the one that's a little vicious from time to time. So last night when she was eating, she was distracted enough, I was able to get the scissors over and get a couple of the mats cut off. But I just noticed she's got one more. There you go, fresh hay, Mama. Hopefully, I'll be breeding her soon. And I was talking about winterizing the hutches. It's still too early yet for us to put the wind block and snow blocks on. But a lot of their water dishes, since I don't use the drip feeders or drip waterers, I had a lot of glass water dishes out here just because, you know, we have the store, so I have no shortage of stuff like that. For the bunnies that tend to like to tip over their water dishes, which is the majority of them. It's pretty frustrating, especially during the summer. During the winter, if that happens, you know, they can just flip it back over and scratch away at the ice until I change it out. But we had somebody donate a bunch of different rabbit stuff, and these were obviously at one point cat or dog dishes, but they're the steel and they'll do just fine this winter. On down. There you go. All right, and here's Miss Tanner, the one we thought was pregnant. You're just a big bunny. That's what it is. You're beautiful. Look at those eyelashes. Ready for your food. Ready for breakfast. Say, stop talking, Momma Bear. Feed me. There you go. You just haven't been eating a lot of hay. There you go. Well, Tanner, I'm gonna give Butters the rest of your hay that I grabbed since you didn't need as much. There you go. Oh. And now Butters, she is pregnant, or she should be. When I realized there was a really good chance that that Buddy was infertile and that Tanner really wasn't pregnant, I went ahead and got Butters bred. I believe, I have it written down, Mouse. I bred her and Mouse. So those should be some pretty bunnies. Hopefully nice short-haired, which is what we're trying to get to. And some good news over here. And please ignore their mess. They are messy. We only have 4 bunnies left in this grow out pen, in this litter. We actually had someone come stop by and buy 3 of them from me the other day for future. Stop it. What are you doing? Hi, you hungry? Y'all usually don't let me pet you. Y'all are hungry. All right, let me go get the bucket. Oh my goodness. No, not the GoPro, silly. And even though there's only 4 of them, I still like to put some pellets in both feeders, just in case they get sick of each other. There you go. All right. Well, y'all, that was the bunnies. I still have to clean their cage, obviously, and get them fresh water and some more hay in there. But y'all don't need to see that. You just saw me do that on all the other bunnies. Hope you've enjoyed tagging along and checking in with the progress. Said it's a shame that Tanner wasn't pregnant. She makes some pretty babies. But Butters will get us some, and here probably, oh, I don't know, probably in a week, I'll probably try to breed one of the other does. I'm keeping them spaced out. That way we don't get overwhelmed with bunnies in the grow out pens before Dirk can buy some more or build some more. But as always, friends, thanks for tagging along. It's a gloomy, rainy day here, so I'm going to be spending most of the day in the store. I've started on those renovations last night. I would take you down there and give you a little preview, but it's just a little bit of a disaster zone. I have a vision with what I want, but it requires pretty well clearing off all the tables and shelves so that I can rearrange everything how I want and start with a blank slate. So that's probably going to be my day, especially since it's going to be pretty rainy and gloomy. Yeah. So thank you as always. Sorry, I'm distracted. Black Swan Lake's having the Gambler this weekend. If you don't know what that is, Google it. They do some pretty cool stuff to help out the community. But yeah, thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, just popping in and seeing what's going on in our lives. There's more to come, a lot more. We've got some big projects this winter that we've had to put off just because we haven't had time. And then we've got some big things coming next year as well. Hopefully next year we can get our goats, or quail. They're both coming in the future. So stick along, stay tuned. And as we like to say here on Momma Bear's Homestead and More, keep on keeping on, friends, because we love every one of you.